Welcome back to the Hot Takes. In this video, we'll be addressing takes that's on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. So let's start with the first take.
And I gotta worry about trade talk. I'm the MVP. I'm the MVP of this league. The best basketball players in the world. I was honored with the MVP. The MVP, the best basketball player in the world. And when I lose, this is what I gotta go through.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Okay.
Fellas, we work all year long for it, man. Shaq the man, most dominant player in the world. Championship, it's ours. Love it, it's beautiful. Mwah, 2G, baby, you love it. We out.
It's showtime, folks.
Let me say this. The NBA should ban teams from playing zone.
Now we're just going on.
No, I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a minute, and he brought it up. They should literally ban teams from playing zone. We're talking about a grown man sport. Man up and play man to man. Nobody want to watch a boring ass game of two teams playing.
That's
zone.
like telling Floyd Mayweather to not play defense.
No, it's not. It's an individual sport.
Now, this take is by the legend himself, Kendrick Perkins. And I still don't understand how this man has a job. So, Kendrick Perkins made a take that the NBA should ban zone defenses. That's stupid. Kendrick Perkins, you don't realize that basketball is also a game about, also a smart game as well. The game is not just about scoring. The game is not just about it being entertaining. It's about you trying to win the game. So if a coach instills or has a team playing zone defenses, it's because they're using a zone to stop areas that they know they're not good at. If you use a 2-3 or use a 3-2, these zones are effective for the team because it helps the defense plays better. So yes, Kendrick Perkins, I know someone like you who played center all his career and wasn't that big-footed, was tired of getting switched on and stuff because he had to play a zone. I'm surprised you didn't like playing a zone. So I don't know why you are saying the NBA should ban zones when a zone is part of the NBA basketball and it's part of the basketball world. It's an effective way to play defense. Now, yes, I agree that sometimes teams use zone too much, like sometimes you should be able to man up. Sometimes that zones won't work. You should be able to man up. But the NBA shouldn't ban zone. The NBA is already adding offensive rules to make offense already better than what it is before. So now we're going to add more. Now we're going to lessen more defensive rules. And then you're going to go back on the media and talk about how the NBA banned zone to help offensive players. But yet you're here right now in the studio talk about how they banned zone. Be consistent, Perkins. Jesus.
People always ask me who would win between the 04 Pistons and the Warriors team. Man, we fucking kill these cats.
The Warriors?
Anybody. And I don't give a fuck who it is. We kill these cats.
The KD Warriors? Y'all would not kill the
We
KD
will
Warriors.
kill them cats.
I think they 4-1, y'all, respectfully.
You are fucking crazy. Them niggas don't play defense.
Do they need to? They scoring 187 points a game.
Against us, you better play some defense. Like, we had some cats who could play, who could ball, who could score, and everybody hung their hat on defense.
This next take is by Rasheed Wallace, and he feels like the 04 Pistons will beat the 2017 Warriors in 4 games, actually. Rasheed Wallace, I'm sorry, but you're not beating this team. Now, I agree that your team is one of the best defensive teams of all time, but your team is not going to be able to stop the switchability of the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm in the camp that I believe the 2017 Golden State Warriors is the greatest team of all time, so I already know this team will beat this team. Now, I agree with the report. They still beat them in 4. I think it'll beat them about 4 or 5, because yes, the team has good defense, but the team has no way to stop the switchability of the team. Because yes, Ben Wallace is a good defender, but not on the perimeter. Yes, Rasheed Wallace is a good perimeter defender, but they're not going to be able to stop the screens the Warriors will be running. They're not going to be able to stop the plays that the Warriors are going to run around the Pistons. And then also the bench unit the Warriors have. This Pistons team is not beating the Warriors team. I don't care. It is not going to work. Now, yes, I agree that they have a better defense than the Golden State Warriors. I agree with that. I wholly do. But your defense is interior-wise, and the Golden State Warriors are more offensive overpowered on the three-point line. You have Draymond Green, who is very switchable at every position, a good three-point shooter and is able to get to the rim. You have Kevin Durant, who is arguably one of the best scorers of all time. You have Stephen Curry, who is the greatest three-point shooter of all time. time and arguably one of the best scorers of all time. Then you have Klay Thompson, who was arguably one of the best catch-and-shoot players of all time. And I'm just talking about the starting lineup. And then you got niggas come off the bench. I'm sorry what she was, but your team is not beating the Warriors in 4 games. I'm sorry. Now,
all those coaches don't get the disrespect that Doc Rivers gets. But none of those coaches I named, Chilton, have won a championship. Now, these coaches are, for the most part, all celebrated. For the most part. They don't get the scathing criticism. Everybody says, oh, Doc is living off one chip. He's had all his failure. Doc is one of the top 7 winningest coaches in the history of basketball, and he's one of the rare ones that have a championship. All those other guys I just named are great coaches that we never complain about. Chill. How many people you see criticizing Rick Adelman? Because I'm putting some truth serum on these cats today, like Mars and these guys who come in here and disrespect Doc Rivers, bro, and just make it seem like Chilltown, he's some bum of a coach, bro. And that bothers me, brother. That bothers me, man, because nobody disrespects Jerry Sloan like that, Chilltown. How many people you see running around disrespecting Jerry Sloan? And Chilltown, Jerry Sloan had Karl Malone and John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek and all those other guys. Byron Scott.
We have a take from the legend himself, Ticket TV, who has another horrible take. Now, Doc Rivers is, first of all, I'm going to just say, he said that Doc Rivers is overhated because of his one ring and because of his one ring. And he has one of the top 7 most winningest records of all time as head coach. Now, I'm going to just before things. One, Doc Rivers has that record because of the talent he played with. If you look at the teams that Doc Rivers has coached, he should have more than one NBA championship. He coached the Lob City Clippers, who during that stretch of time, yes, it was a couple of years where they was injury riddled, but it was also years where Doc Rivers actively was not a good coach, actively putting in bad substitutions, actively not playing like a coach. So yes, Lob City. He put the 76ers, and yes, I agree that I don't think it was most of his fault last season, but he also had a part in that team losing. He coached the Clippers when it was Kawhi and PG. He's coached so many teams that don't have to name for you, and he only has one win to show off of it. And even in 2008, he was still not putting in that many good substitutions for this team. The team which is amazing, the team which is good enough to beat Kobe Bryant and the Kobe Bryant Los Angeles Lakers. What am I talking about? So that's the only reason why he has 2008 ring, because of the team he played with. But even when he coached that 2018, he still wasn't that good enough of a coach. Just the team and the personnel like Doc Rivers. That's why he stayed there. So Doc Rivers does not get overhated. Doc Rivers deserves the hate he gets, because I don't understand how he keeps on getting these coaching positions. Again, he's the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, and I have a more in-depth video coming out. I don't know if it came out before this video or after this video, but Doc Rivers is not a good coach. He has an old man mentality. And we have Ticket TV, who also has an old man mentality and doesn't realize that Doc Rivers doesn't put in the institutions that he needs to put in to win games. He doesn't put in the things he needs to do to actually win those games. He doesn't do it because he's on the Bucks and you have Damian Lillard to shoot a 3, but you give it to Giannis. That's not a good coaching decision. And we're going to see in the playoffs as Doc Rivers is not a good coach. He's not a good coach. And we're going to see it in the playoffs. Doc Rivers is not overhated. Doc Rivers deserves to get all the hate he gets and not another coaching job.
There is no version of Hakeem Olajuwon that can get with Shaquille O'Neal on the block in 2002. And there is no way that you can convince these people in the chat they are too smart, they're too intelligent to fall for that type of hoodwink. You can't tell me that you give the ball to Shaquille O'Neal, a 30-year-old Shaquille O'Neal on the block against a 30-year-old Hakeem Olajuwon, and he's not hanging with that monster. He hung with a young monster. That is true. I've also already debated about the difference between Magic and Steph. Steph shooting, that's fine. But Magic is picking apart any defense you can present. That duo is three-peating in any era.
We have another take by Player's Choice by saying that Hakeem Olajuwon cannot guard Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. That's cap. You don't realize that Shaquille O'Neal played against Tim Duncan in 2003. And I understand that it's 2002, but I'm using one example because he still was in his prime stretch of era from 2000 to 2004, in my opinion. So 2003, he played against Tim Duncan, and he got dominated. Tim Duncan actively dominated the Lakers team and played amazing defense on him. But only have to see 2003, 2002. Every year they played the San Antonio Spurs, even when they would sweep them, even when they would play amazing against them and win those series, Tim Duncan would still guard Shaquille O'Neal good. And even though Shaq could put up those stats, he would still limit Shaquille O'Neal. Now, in my opinion, I think Tim Duncan is a better defender than Hakeem Olajuwon. But in the years that Tim Duncan played Shaquille O'Neal, it wasn't even in his defensive prime yet. So you have Hakeem Olajuwon, who is in his defensive prime, doing his 30-year-old season, and is still a active defensive player of the year candidate against Shaquille O'Neal 2002. Yes, I feel like that we overrate Shaquille O'Neal's dominance because of the mid people that he played in the NBA Finals in the mid-centers he played. And he played mid-centers, he did. So you have Hakeem Olajuwon, who is a defensive player of the year candidate most of the years of his career and is in his prime. Hakeem Olajuwon might not be able to shut him down, but he's actively limiting Shaquille O'Neal's ability to score, and that's a fact. So you sitting there and saying that no one can convince you that, we don't have to convince you that, because you should know that Hakeem Olajuwon is one of the best interior defenders of all time. And when you look at Shaquille O'Neal's career, Shaquille O'Neal actively was getting limited by defenders in the paint and being limited by interior good defenders. So when he get limited by Tim Duncan, who wasn't even in his defensive prime yet, why would we think that he would get limited by Hakeem Olajuwon, who was an active defensive player of the year candidate during those years? That doesn't make sense. Hakeem Olajuwon limited Shaquille O'Neal easily.
There's no one more protected by legacy sports than Michael Jordan, because LeBron passed him years ago and people are still pretending the man is some sort of untouchable god. NBA superstars have a disproportionate impact on games when compared to other team sports, but it's still a team sport. So we need to be realistic about who these guys were facing and who they had as a supporting cast. Because as we can see during the 94 and 95 seasons, Scottie Pippen was an MVP level player on his own, and MJ had him for every single one of those finals runs. And not only that, but he only won a single playoff game before Pippen arrived on scene. On the other hand, people say LeBron can't win without super teams, but that's the biggest lie ever told. Because in his first stint on the Cavs, those teams had no business getting 20 wins without him, much less 50 or 60 win teams like they ended up being. And when your best player in 7 years is Zydrunas Ilgauskas going against a team like the Tim Duncan Spurs, you can't look at that loss and tell me it's not more impressive than MJ's Bulls beating a worn-down Magic Johnson. Everyone needs help, and the biggest lie in basketball is that Michael Jordan did everything on his own, while Bron only ever won with loaded rosters. Because it's just a matter of fact that we've never seen a team like the KD Warriors. And without him, they still had 3 future Hall of Famers in their first title run when LeBron lost both his co-stars. So the only thing haters have is the 2011 finals. But rattling off 7 straight finals appearances, 3 championships, 4 MVPs in 5 years, and the greatest finals win in league history after that hiccup should be more than enough to prove that the man is the most unstoppable individual player we've ever seen.
Now in this take, he's addressing that the media and people are leaving Michael Jordan untouchable to be passed to by LeBron James. Now, 2 things. 1, he's a casual, because only people who don't pay attention to basketball use that Pippen stupid statement. Now, I hate people say that Jordan only won the playoff win before Pippen came in there, because they stupid take. 1, Jordan didn't have enough pieces to even win a playoff win before Pippen got there. That's 1. 2, Pippen came with Jordan in the early stage of his career, and they built that team around Jordan and Pippen. That's 2. 3, you saying that Pippen was a MVP type of player in 94-95 is laughable. He was a good second option, but not an MVP type player. Also, Pippen did not play good those last 2 finals games, but you didn't think about that, did you? Michael Jordan actively carried most of those finals wins in those last 2 NBA finals. So you saying that Michael Jordan had an MVP type player during his whole run is actually insane to even think about, because Scottie Pippen is not a MVP type player during his run, Michael Jordan. Please stop. Also, you saying that LeBron just didn't need stacked rosters to win, that's a lie. That's not a lie. LeBron James, yes, in 2011 he sold, and yes, in 2007 he was able to bring the NBA Finals. You're not looking at the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference during the stretch when LeBron was able to have those Cavs teams, at 60-win teams, 50-win games, was one, the Eastern Conference was severely weaker than the Western Conference. Actively, it wasn't even a conversation, a competition. It actually was weaker. So when you take that into account, and you also take into account how LeBron actually played 2007, that's his fault. LeBron actively played horrible in 2007 NBA Finals, and we're looking at him playing the San Antonio Spurs. That's why he played bad? No, LeBron James was actually getting limited because of his weaknesses. That's why he played bad. He literally played bad because he couldn't shoot. He played bad because he only played a certain type of way to get to the rim. That's his fault. The Spurs were able to exploit that. That's his weakness. Yes, the Spurs were a superior team, and I can see if LeBron was actually, playing good and not losing, but LeBron was actually getting shown his weaknesses and actively getting shown why he needs to grow, which I understand that. You're not going to win every single NBA Finals. You're not going to win every single series, but when you actually don't play that good that series and we're chalking up to the team was better, that's not okay, because you just sat there and said that we're using those accolades, those championships as a team sport, but yet you're evaluating the team's success because the team they played, which, yes, I get it. The San Antonio Spurs in 2007 was the best team. They won the NBA Finals, yes, but LeBron James actually played bad during that series as well, because Michael Jordan went against the Orlando Magic and actively played bad. That's why they lost against the Magic. And it's not like Michael Jordan played well, he played bad, which is why the Bulls lost. LeBron James played bad, and they was gonna lose either way. Even LeBron played good, but LeBron played bad. And if Jordan would have played against the Magic, it would have been the Bulls. It would have been the Bulls' fault. So that's where the misconceptions come into play. As I feel like LeBron James has a case to be the GOAT. I don't be mad at people for having LeBron as the GOAT, but you're attacking Michael Jordan fans and saying they're godly and then won't be able to have him off the throne. It's a hard topic to battle. It's just a hard topic to be able to get the person that you like off of the number one spot, and it makes sense. So people's case for having LeBron as the GOAT makes sense, but do not spread misconceptions and lies about something that's not true. That's all I'm gonna say.